From the very first day of school, Amelia and Sophia had been inseparable. They met in the first grade when Amelia dropped her books on the floor and Sophia rushed to help her. That simple act of kindness became the beginning of a lifelong bond. The two girls sat together in every class, shared their lunches, exchanged secrets, and promised each other that nothing in the world would ever separate them. Their teachers admired their dedication to studies, and their parents were happy that both daughters had found such a pure friendship. As they grew older, Amelia and Sophia began to dream about their futures. While most of their classmates thought about becoming doctors, engineers, or artists, the two best friends shared a different passion. They were fascinated by justice, bravery, and the idea of serving society. Whenever they saw police officers in their neat uniforms, protecting people and maintaining order, they felt inspired. "One day, we will wear that uniform together," Sophia used to whisper, and Amelia would smile and nod with determination. Their school years passed like a beautiful memory. They studied hard, encouraged each other, and always aimed for the best results. When one felt tired or discouraged, the other lifted her up. Their bond became stronger with every passing year, until it felt as if they were not just friends, but two sisters born into different families. By the time they graduated, their goal was crystal clear. They would apply to become police officers in the United Kingdom. Their parents, although initially surprised, supported their dream wholeheartedly. After months of preparation, training, and hard work, Amelia and Sophia finally received the news that they had been selected as police constables. The day they wore their uniforms for the first time was one of the happiest moments of their lives. They looked at each other in the mirror, their eyes shining with pride and excitement. "We did it," Amelia whispered, and Sophia hugged her tightly. They believed nothing could ever take this happiness away. Life as police constables in the UK was not easy, but Amelia and Sophia embraced the challenge with courage. They went through long shifts, late-night calls, and dangerous situations, yet they always stood strong. Their teamwork made them efficient, and their bond gave them strength. When Sophia felt nervous during her first arrest, Amelia stood beside her and guided her with calm confidence. When Amelia faced a difficult investigation, Sophia offered endless support. Together, they were unstoppable. But fate had its own plan. After a year of service, the department decided to transfer both of them to different districts. Amelia was sent to a busy metropolitan area, while Sophia was assigned to a quiet countryside station. The news struck them like a thunderbolt. For the first time in their lives, they would be separated. On the day of departure, both hugged each other tightly at the train station, tears flowing freely. "Promise me we will stay the same," Sophia whispered. "Always," Amelia replied, her voice breaking. The days that followed were filled with emptiness. Amelia missed Sophia's laughter during coffee breaks, while Sophia longed for Amelia's steady presence during patrols. They called each other every night, sharing stories about work. But the distance was painful. Though they were serving their dream, they felt a deep hole in their hearts. Friendship, they realized, was their true strength, and without it, everything felt incomplete. Months turned into a year. Amelia worked tirelessly in the city, facing dangerous criminals, chasing thieves, and handling emergencies. Sophia, on the other hand, lived a quieter police life in the countryside, dealing with small disputes, lost pets, and community problems. Yet both of them carried the same loneliness. They were proud of their job, but the sacrifice of separation weighed heavily on their souls. During this period, something unexpected happened. Amelia met a young man named Daniel while investigating a theft in a local shop. Daniel was kind, brave, and respectful, and he admired Amelia's dedication to her duty. Slowly, their conversations grew longer, and their bond turned into love. Amelia, who had always believed her life belonged only to her profession, began to feel warmth in her heart for the first time outside of friendship. At the same time, Sophia crossed paths with Michael, Daniel's elder brother, during a community event. Michael was gentle, thoughtful, and supportive. He admired Sophia's courage as a woman in uniform and treated her with genuine respect. Sophia too found herself drawn to him, feeling that destiny had placed him in her life for a reason. Neither Amelia nor Sophia knew at first that they had fallen in love with brothers, but fate was quietly weaving their stories together. When Amelia finally told Sophia about Daniel, Sophia laughed with joy. "You won't believe this," she said. "I've met someone to my—" For a moment, there was silence, and then both burst into laughter, realizing the miracle of life. Their sadness began to fade, replaced with new hope. It was as if destiny had given them two companions to stand beside them, just as they had always stood beside each other. Still, their jobs made it difficult. Late shifts, constant risks, and long distances often stood in the way of spending time with their loved ones. Daniel and Michael were supportive, but Amelia and Sophia both knew in their hearts that something was missing. They began to question whether the job that once gave them pride was still worth the sacrifice of personal happiness and togetherness. One evening, Amelia sat by her window, lost in thought. She called Sophia and asked, "Do you ever feel like our hearts are somewhere else now?" Sophia took a deep breath and replied, "Yes, I love this job, but I love the life I see with Michael even more. Maybe we were meant to serve, but not forever." The decision was heavy, yet both knew the answer deep within their souls. With courage equal to the day they first joined the force, Amelia and Sophia decided to resign from their positions. The news shocked their colleagues, but their hearts were clear. They had given their time, their energy, and their dedication to the police force. But now it was time to follow a new path. They wanted a life filled with love, family, and the warmth of being together. Daniel and Michael stood proudly beside them when they submitted their resignations. "You've already served your country with honor," Daniel told Amelia. "Now it's time to build your own happiness." Michael said something similar to Sophia, assuring her that love and family were also forms of courage. For the first time in years, Amelia and Sophia felt truly free, their hearts light as feathers. The weddings were small but filled with laughter, music, and endless joy. Amelia married Daniel, while Sophia married Michael. Both brides looked radiant, not just in their dresses, but in the happiness that shone from within. They had not only found love, but also a new kind of family too. Sisters married to two brothers, forever connected by destiny. Life after marriage brought a fresh beginning. Amelia and Sophia often visited each other, no longer separated by long distances or transfers. Their homes became centers of joy, with dinners, laughter, and endless conversations that reminded them of their school days. Whenever they sat together, they would recall the times when they dreamed of being police officers, and they smiled with pride at how far they had come. Although they were no longer in uniform, the discipline, courage, and sense of justice they had learned never left them. They used those values in their new lives, helping neighbors, guiding children, and supporting their community. Amelia and Sophia realized that service to society does not always require a badge or uniform. Sometimes, it simply requires a kind heart and a willing hand. As years passed, their friendship only deepened, now bound as they cherished the rare gift of walking through every stage of life together. From childhood to careers, from heartbreak to love, they had shared it all. And whenever they held hands, they remembered the promise they had made long ago: nothing in the world would ever separate them. One summer evening, as the sun set behind golden clouds, Amelia and Sophia sat in the garden with their husbands. The air was filled with laughter, and the children of both families played nearby. Sophia turned to Amelia and said softly, "Do you remember the day we first wore our uniforms?" Amelia smiled, her eyes shining. "Yes, I thought that was the happiest day of our lives. But today, this is even greater." They both fell silent for a moment, watching the joy around them. Life had not turned out exactly as they had planned, but perhaps that was the beauty of it. Their journey had taken them through struggle, separation, duty, and finally, to love and togetherness. They had found not only their place in the world, but also the companions who made that world worth living. In that golden light, Amelia and Sophia realized that true happiness is not just about the dreams we chase, but also about the people we hold close along the way. And so, with hearts full of gratitude, they embraced the life they had chosen. Forever best friends, forever sisters, and forever in love with the destiny that had united them.